YouTube was popping, WWE Wishlist 2026. Let's go right into it by saying that I believe that Randy Orton finally needs to turn heel on Cody Rhodes, and he needs to do it in a match with him for the title. He needs to do it mid-match by punting him in his head, winning the title the dirty way, and I believe Randy Orton needs to do that at WrestleMania this year. For the Women's Royal Rumble, we need Liv Morgan to take that dub, go to WrestleMania and fight whoever has the Raw Women's Championship. I believe that we need to go away with War Games. I think that it should really just happen kind of like a Hell in a Cell, just when it's required. I don't think, we should go to November. We got to do a War Games match now. Now everything else has to go on timeout, and we got to get, 8 to 10 main eventers and shove them all in a match that is dope and exciting, but it really has no stakes to it. We need to go back to the SmackDown versus Raw format, 5-on-5, traditional teams. You could have the U.S. champion go against the Intercontinental champion, stuff like that. That is just so much more entertaining than doing this War Games thing year in and year out. Also featuring Randy Orton, I think we need to see Randy Orton versus Gunther. Obviously, Gunther is the heel of the WWE right now. He tapped out the GOAT. So I think this needs to happen before we see Orton versus Cody. I'd like to see Orton be one of those guys that comes out when Gooner's just talking mad crap about Cena. He comes out, challenges him for a match, and then basically they have a couple-week program where they have promos at it, and then basically the match is basically for the Legend Killer moniker, where Gunther then taps out Orton just like he did Cena, Goldberg, everybody else, and really just adds more heat. So then for the eventual babyface, whoever it is, it can't be somebody already established like a Cody Rhodes or a Punk. It needs to be an up-and-coming guy or somebody that just needs a lot of momentum. I'm trying to think of a name, but I can't think of one right now. But just for the eventual person to defeat Gunther. And I also think that when Gunther does finally get that big singles loss, he needs to have one of the titles that he can pass off to that babyface. Gonna go through these next two pretty quick. I think we need another evolution. There's not much talking needed to be said about that. This last evolution that we had was probably the best PLE of the year outside of SummerSlam. And then I also personally want to see Rhea Ripley versus Stephanie Vaquer in a one-on-one match for a championship. WWE needs to bring back better stages. Like, I'm not saying like they have to do it back in the day where they had the Fist for SmackDown and a dope Raw stage. You don't got to do it for the Raws, the SmackDowns, the NXTs, but for the pay-per-views. I believe it was Clash in Paris where they had the big Eiffel Tower. That was probably the best stage of the entire year. I believe one of the Saudi shows had a dope stage this year. We need that every single pay-per-view. I mean, come on, guys. You have the money. You're charging us $600 for nosebleed at John Cena's last match. You're charging us for ESPN, Peacock, this app. Just come on. You guys have enough money. Make it work. Lastly, we need to see John Felix Anthony Cena get inducted into the Hall of Fame class of 2026. Not only that, he needs a headline. Now, again, they already announced that Stephanie McMahon's going to be in there. She has a headline-worthy name herself, but at the end of the day, it's fresh. Her retirement's fresh on us. I think we don't need to wait, because then it's going to become like something like Batista. He's still not inducted. You don't need to keep waiting years and years and years. It's John Cena. Give him a little bit of respect. Retire him this year. Put him in the Hall of Fame this year, and just leave it at that. Thank y'all so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoy this new style of videos. With all that being said, peace.